Good afternoon, students. Today we will see what are the security measures or the defense strategies which has to be taken while dealing with these cloud computing or a cloud service models to handle our data, to process our applications or any type of the representation. And we will see some of the protection techniques what we are following to get these trust over that one. And what these data centers has to be followed to be the repetitive one, and what are the types of the networks they need to consider will be specified here. So here in this topic we will cover the defense strategies of the cloud, and then intrusion and anomaly detections, and what are the protection techniques we are following for the data on the software. And at last we will see what we need to specify or what we need to do for the reputation guided protection of these data centers. So before going to this representations, like why we need to this security or the trust management, here we need to provide a trust factor between service providers and cloud users, because we are providing cloud users means either maybe an end user, an organization, or the common you can specify a big organization also. What they will do here, they will give their data or they will give their user applications to be handled by the cloud providers only. So here these cloud providers has to maintain this data sophisticatedly, and they has to be in a security has to be specified here. In previous means in the past, all these things we have been specified that whatever the service on demand or the test models what we are using has been developed to protect mainly the e-commerce here, e-commerce and online shopping only. It's not concentrating on others. In the past what we have done here, so we are maintaining the providing the security or any trust models to only the e-commerce, that is a business applications, or any online shoppings what we are using. You may consider eBay or Amazon for this example. Not all these considered as or all the users will involve in this e-commerce and online shopping. What they will do, users will use these models or the cloud computing or the cloud provider services to take the benefit of developing user applications, and also store the data, or we are using network processing, or any type of the service has been provided by them. In such a way, if we are using that much of the services from the cloud must provide the services which are have the privacy protection. If the cloud is lack of the privacy protection, then our data or any representations which are used for the privacy protection will be not safe in that environment. So here the trust what it is here specified is, we need to take copyright protection, security assurance, and also private protections we have to consider. While coming to the trust, it is considered as a social problem, because it is not a technical issue here. Means technical issue means any connection has been means missed or anything. What they will do, they will regain the technical, they will connect to that one environment, like that they will process. So this is not the technical issue here. What they have to do here is we need to take these social issue to be solved by using the technical approaches. Means we need to gain the trust. How we are going to provide the trust or anything here is, we need to consider the clouds to be safe here. Means any security threats has to be specified, any security threats has been considered. In this virtual environment, we need to include some technologies to be avoid this security threats or any representations which are causing harm to us. So likewise what we are doing is, we need to follow, means based on many things, and means many at many levels or the many service models also, we need to follow many strategies or the models here. So likewise in this first topic, in the cloud security and the trust management, we have cloud security defense strategies. This is complete about the service models what we are using, that is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. The security demands what we are considered for this service models will be covered here. So here, what we need to do here is we need to take the basic security enforcements here. So the basic one, or first we need to take on-site security year around. On-site security. First one is the on-site security, means we need to take care of whether intruders are in the means working environment or not. We need to know that thing. Intruders or the working environments, we need to read these biometric readers, CCTV, motion detections, and the man traps. All these things has to be specified, has to be used on site here, because we are not only we can say that we are the thing what it has been occurred on the cloud or any means apart from the data center environment. So if we are considering the facility, the security in the data centers, what it has to do here is we need to take for the on-site security. So what is this on-site security here is we need to take year around, we need to take all these things into consideration. So we need to that is work on the things what you are, that is the person who are working on these representations have the common behavior on it, they have the weird behavior like that, we need to see. So somebody, if somebody is when he is heading toward the confidential area, so what the persons has to do, they need to find out whether this person is allowed or not. If the person is not allowed, what they have to do is nothing but they need to consider the biometrics has to be specified there. Sometimes the biometrics can be stolen, or they can have the another ways to give this biometrics the correct data. So what we have to do, we need to take whether the persons what you are choosing here has to be means in that area or not, they are allowed or not, we need to study. After doing all these things, what we are specifying here is we need to go for the security demands, fault tolerant one, external firewalls will be there, what are the intrusion detection systems we are using, and the third party vulnerability assessment. So apart from the on-site security, we need to take care of all these things into one. The firewalls what we are using, IDSS, vulnerability assessments, and then next security demands which are on the network has to be studied. After that, we need to go for the platform security demands here. Means the final step here is we need to take care of the SSLs and data decryption methodologies, password policies, and also we need to take the trust certifications into an account. So by applying all these things or some type of the representations, we need to consider what type of the measures to be followed at which step we need to consider. So this is the diagrammatical representation of a service cloud service model which are highlighted. We have the infrastructure as a service, and then uh, platform as a service, and then software as a service here. The software as a service will have the means probability of accessing the applications, and also they are using the application programmable interface to interact with the applications, and also they are maintaining the data, that is to process any application or to execute any code of a program, they use the data. So if they are using any data or content or many or the metadata, what does it has been specified here. So the software as a service will have only the access for the applications through the APIs, and they are providing some computations, or they are going through the some computations using content or data or metadata. While coming to the PaaS, that is a platform as a service, the platform as a service, it is using an integration OS, that is which is used for, which is not in our environment, that is allowing to access that operating system for executing the applications what you are choosing here. And also maintaining a middleware, because it has to whatever the things you are giving to your server or any type of the representation, if they are not understandable, what this middleware will do here is it will convert the main things will be the basic structures or the basic blocks will be converted, and it will be given to the others. And coming to the IAS, it will be taking the under control of this thing, APIs, connectivity, virtualization, and hardware devices what you are using, whether it is a storage one or the connection oriented or anything. So anything will be considered. So these are the things which are to be handled by the infrastructure or the platform or the software as a service models. And coming to the right side of this thing, these are the security, privacy, and the copyright protection measures need to be followed at various cloud service models. If you see the first two, applications and the data or information, if we specify, these two measures has to be applied at the software as a service model. And then next, coming to the that is what you are representing platform as a service, we need to take management as a measure we need to consider. And then at last, the networking, trusted computing, compute, and storage will take care of the these we has to be considered when we are dealing with the infrastructure as a service. The first one, applications. When we are dealing with these applications, the applications when you are considering or executing, it is following a binary translation. Binary translation has been considered when we are executing a program. So that's why what these applications what you are using, binary analysis has to be done, and also it has to take care the scanners to be included here, and also it need to specify web app that is firewalls or there, and also it is specifying transactional security and copyright protection here. Why it is considered in the copyright protection? So here we are accessing already developed one. So already developed one, when you are dealing with the software as a service, you only has the access to these things, that is only developed one will be taken. You don't have a right to take the developed applications for code, and then next you will write your own programs, or you can modify their by using these code and alterations has been done, and you are developing your own application or your own software is not appreciable or it not encourageable when you are dealing with the software as a service, because you will have the only access to the developed one. If it is a developer one, means it is has its own license or the copyright here. You can't violate that thing. So if you want to violate the, you means want to create any upgradations or any alterations to that one, you need to go for the platform as a service. Then it will provide an access to the open sources also. So there you will have the capability of creating own applications or the own or your own versions by using the existing ones. And coming to the first one, binary analysis. What is this binary analysis here is, here we need to assess the threat here. So we assess the threat, and also we need to take the test for the vulnerable. So here what is the uh, means what is the chance of attacking, or the what is the chance of accessing others one means unwantedly, you can be specified as a vulnerable. So here what it is do is it will analyze the data. So how it is going to analyze here is it is taking the you can consider the binaries which are the raw binaries, and it also takes all these things to their complete application and provides when there is if it is accessing, means if you want to take these things into the consideration, yeah, I said there is a copyright protection is there, then you won't have the access to these source code. So then what it is doing is binary code analysis will be perfect. So what this binary code analysis or the binary analysis will do here is it will take these raw binaries to be connected, or the raw binaries uh, to be take these source codes which is not accessed to you. So which is like the code review, means we need to take these static analysis into an account, and we take these only the binary executables of the application, and we don't have the don't need these source code here. So the source code, you know that the bytecode or anything is represented that one. So there is no need of the source code, whatever that one, we are needing only the basic blocks of the program. These basic blocks of the program are used for the programming in further representation. If you are using any middleware or anything, what it is representing here is it is taking these things into an account. So here what you are specifying it is, when you are dealing with other applications which are developed by others, they won't give the source code here. So to get the source code or to process like this, what they do is they do these binary analysis also. So whether they are not accessing the source code, how much of the data will they will get from this one. So what are the binary codes they are getting? How far they will access this one and create the environment or the source anything like that. It has to be specified. So without using any source code, they will be access to the your source code. How? Because they are accessing your binary code. So they directly accessing the binary code. By using this binary code, what it is doing, without any accessing to the building environment or the source code, what they are having your code, and they have the capability to build that thing. Means by using the binary code, they will access all these source code or the source programs after that. And then next you have the transactional security. Whenever you are providing transaction based ones, and it also providing the security to that one. And coming to these that is the data content or the metadata here. So we need to take the data loss protection here, common log file, database activity monitoring, encryption, and a data coloring. So data coloring is a important factor or the important thing we need to consider when we are dealing with these cloud environment here. So here what this data coloring or the what you are mentioning here is a, it will take it as a watermarking also. So here in this environment, what we are providing, first we are taking data loss protection. So we need to take the any lossage of the data or not. If it is not like that, what we need to consider here. So if we are taking many things to consideration, many data elements or the thing, any losses has been occurred due to the components failure, how it is been retrieved, or how it is been like backup whenever you are facing any failure. After that, there you need to consider the common log failure with many comings to existence. What we need to do here is we need to specify the common log has to be done, or the common has to be maintained when we are dealing with this thing. And coming to the next one, database activity. Who are accessing the database? These things we need to consider. Who are accessing the database, and what they are accessing, and what are things they are considering, what the modifications they are doing, whether they are allowed or not, they are simply accessing these files, or how far they are allowing these things. All these things we need to consider when we are dealing with the database. And coming to the monitoring, you are allowing the data or information, means we are allowing to take the access of the these storage devices. So we need to take these storage devices into an account, whether they are modifying the data or anything has to be considered, and how far they will accessing all these things need to consider when we are dealing with these things. And coming to the next one, that is a encryption. So we are sending the data, or we are giving the data to the applications. So whether data what we are processing, we are specifying all these things into a new thing. So that's why what it is doing. So we need to take our data to be encrypted, and it has to given to the that is applications what we are designing. So that's why what it is doing. It is taking these things to be done by using the encryptions. And while coming to these data coloring or the watermarking here, we have the different representations when you are dealing with why we use watermark. Why we use watermark means whenever you are opening an application or any data or any documentation or that, they need to fill their representations with that. How they are, why they are using this type of the representations here is to ensure that the what you are searched for and what you are representing has been belonged to them only, means they it belongs to them. So that is called that is watermarking is representing. So this document what you are waiving, it is belong to them, and we are processing all these things. And coming to this, what is the data coloring? So data coloring here is, it is like protecting the shared data objects. So it is providing the security levels also, and it is also making the cloud data to be many means to be in many colors here. So how these colors are represented here is, we are making these colors to be available with others here. In the next slides, you will see one example for these data coloring. No? So we are maintaining many colors to that one. So here the data shade, the shaded structures, the shared data structures are represented as a colors here. Means it is not maintaining single colors or the multiple colors. We are giving the data structure or the see here we are giving multiple colors to that. Not like that we are giving each and every space to a color. We are giving the shared data structures a new name that is called, that are called as a colors here. So here when and means when you are dealing with the a programmer, so a programmer will be assigned to a color here. So what this color is representing here is he has the able to access that data structure, like that it is representing. Means that shade area will be means process coming to accessible when it is assigned to that programmer. So and it is also take the advantage of making that is placing the markings in the control flow. So here we need to specify where the data should be consistent, means it is not being changed or any updations not be done, has to be known to the user. That's why they are maintaining the control flow also. While coming to these watermark, so it is like it's like digital object here. So and is what to place what it is doing here is it is taking digitally signed emblem. Means if you see of means in a document if you see there will be an emblem that is representing the college, or they will be representing their name has been placed and the back side of that one. So what it is represented here is it is a verified one, and it is can be used and it cannot be changed, or it is a trustworthy one, like that it is specified. So if you want to that is verify any emblem, or if you want to do anything, they will allow to take these things to be available. So they can allow these things to be available with these third party persons, and they will verify the digitally signed certificates of these emblem. So the this is representation of the data coloring. Again I'm saying that data coloring means we are having the data structures which has been shared one. So each and every data structure which has been shared will be specified with a single color. So you are assigned to a color. If it is a black color, I am assigned to a black color, means the thing what it is in the black, that is a storage place, what it is in the black will be accessible by me. So they are maintaining the colors to the data structures to be available with us, and they are not allowing to take these this shade stores has to be means is assigned to you, like that. What they are not giving, they are assigning the colors to the programmers. Means if the programmers, some of the programmers having the black color, means the black 10 programmers or those 2 programs are able to access the data structure which has been colored with the black, and they have to means they should know what is the control flow also, whether the data what you are presented has been changed, or these things will be considered. And coming to the platform as a service, we are dealing with your management here. So here we need to take access management, virtual machines into an account. Patch management is a patch management means we need to make the updations, say updations or any if you say modifications has to be done. So we need to consider the patch management here. The risk management and the compliance will has to be considered, because we are dealing with the platform as a service here. All will be available to us on, and we are using only the public clouds to be processed here. So all the applications which are being used for the government also it will be available, and we need to take the access management into an account, and we need to consider the virtual take caring of the virtual machines, because we are getting into the virtual environment while using this thing, because it is accessing on the integration of the operating system and the middleware also. On coming to the next one, so that is a infrastructure as a service. It is dealing with the 3 privacy or the protection measures which are having that is to be controlled, or the to be taken care, or networking, trusted computing, and the computing and the storage. So these are completely about these virtualizations on the hardware and the connectivity processing what we are choosing here. When we are dealing with the network connections, it has to be take the intrusion detection systems that is on the network, and then firewalls what you are using, the data processing information, anti DDoS attacks, that is the what you are considering here is the denial of service is considered here. Here distributed denial of the service is represented here. So what is the DDoS attack what you are using here? We need to maintain the defense system for this processing. So how we are going to take this defense system into attacks into consideration here is we need to take multiple network domains into the an account. We are not taking only single network domain, multiple network domains will be taken. So these domains will be covered as or processed as a edge networks where the cloud, these clouds resources are being what are the user means whatever the resources were you are using has been connected here. So here these what it will do, how these attacks will come here is a will come with the widespread of the worms, and also you can specify the flooding of the traffic heavily. So here these are the things which may occur DDoS, and also these overflowing disk exhaustion or the connection saturation. All these things will come into an account when we are dealing with these DDoS representations. And the quality of the service what you are representing on the DNS security. So domain name service server security has to be maintained here. While dealing with the computing, which is the trusted one computing, we need to take hardware and the software right of X, and then next to their IPS to be connected. IPS means when you are dealing with an interface to be connected with these hardware of the software, we need to protect the APIs also. If the API is not also protected one, then it will leads to an error also. So if you and also we need to take the trust overlay networks here. So overlay networks are there. These we need to maintain the networking in a manner that we need to provide. Security on these overlay networks to for these cloud resources on the data centers also. And also we need to take the reparation of these systems into an account when we are dealing this thing. And apart from these we are computing and storing the data. For this we need to take intrusion detection systems and host based firewalls into consideration, integrity, and then log management, encryption, and then masking. So these are the things has to be done when you are dealing with these all these things into specification. That is the root of trust, and then IPS means intrusion prevention tech systems. All these been unconsidered. So that's about the that is basic one what you have chosen here. So while dealing with this basic securities protections, we need to specify some demands here. So these are the demands which has been provided by the um, means clusters or the users who are been accessing some or the protections of the servers. So we need to protect the servers, hypervisors, virtual machines, data. So from whom we need to protect the servers here is malicious software attacks. What are the attacks we are considering as the worms, viruses, or the malware? So here we need to consider the protection has to be maintained to the hypervisors also. Why we need to give these protection to the hypervisors means the main virtualization concept is beheld with this virtual manager, that is a virtual machine manager VMM. So if the VMM that is VM monitor or the hypervisor VM manager has been attacked, then the person will have the access to the virtual machine which are under control of these hypervisors. So we need to take these consideration also. So we need to take these hypervisors or the VM monitors from these software based attacks and the vulnerabilities we are specified. And coming to the virtual machines, what we have to do is nothing but we need to protect them, and we need to monitor the services which are being done here. Means yeah, simply maintaining a virtual machine is not the simple thing. What you have to do is nothing but we need to look after all these things. What is the accessibility of that virtual machine? How far it can be accessible? What are the applications they are using? How many hosts are they are connected to that one? Any migrations has been done or not? Migration is done, what to destination, to the correct destination is not been done, or it is means given to any attacker, like that we need to consider all these things into an account here. And coming to the next one, the protection of the data. So here the protection of the data here is the theft one. So the theft one here is it is representing that is your data has been means replaced, or the data has been deleted, or all these things will come into an account. And the next corruption here is data has been used by others, means the means there has been used for other purposes without intentionally, without knowing by you. And the next one, natural disaster, means your data has been lost means how it is lost here is you can specify the data center there is a problem, the power supply problem you can specify, the server what it is been has been failed or it has been lost his working accessibility. All these things will come into an account. So if any natural disaster has been occurred, how you are going to protect your data? The simple step is you are maintaining the multiple data sets here, multiple data at the multiple locations here. So then the problem what it is you are having in the natural disasters will be uh, means not considered here, because you are maintaining your data at different locations also. Then if your data has lost at the one single point, then you will have the access to the another point also. You will change the location of the accessing and you will easily get the accessibility of that one. And coming to that one, authorization of that one, that users you are using. So here we need to mention what are the services or the what are the data represent data centers or the data sets what you are using, how far you are authorizing the persons. So authorization or the authentication we need to give. Simply you are allowing to people to access your data or the services unknowingly means it's not a good thing. What you have to do, you need to know whether the person is having the accessibility or not. So if you don't know means how far I can manage all these things, you will have the doubt that how far I can manage. I can manage 10 people or the 100 people mostly. How can I manage thousands of people, lakhs of the people when I am processing with this one? So how can it be done means what I have to do, I have to provide the authentication and authorization accessing to that thing. So if you want to access the file, you should know what are the credentials of that file. When you are opening a file, it is asking for some password or some other credentials. You should be able to give that thing. So when you will be able to give that accessing credentials to that resource you want to access here is when you are a authorized person only. Means you if you are an authorized person, you will have the ability to know to open to that resource or to access to that resource. I must know the credentials here. So you will enter the credentials and you will go for the accessing that one. If he is not the authorized person, what it will do here is it simply stop these accessing or the services or the data elements what it is having when processing here. And apart from that, we need to take the cloud defense methods here. So why we need to consider the cloud defense methods is we are dealing with the virtualization here. So the virtualization environment has been provided to the users to access many operating systems which are not with us, or the applications which has been supported by these operating systems also. And we need to take what are the attacks to be considered while dealing with these virtual machines. We can take denial of the service attacks, spyware, malware, rootkits, Trojan horses, worms, and then next we can specify DDoS, the traffic flooding. All these things will come into an account when we are dealing with this one. So when we are having a virtualization layer, what it is doing is it is taking an additional layer to be added to the software. That what is the problem here is that it is becoming the single point of the failure. So we are adding a virtualization layer to that one. So if the virtualization layer has been failed, then you won't be able to access the virtual machines what you are having there. So that's why this problem already is specified as the SPOF, that is a single point of failure has been occurred. So to overcome this thing, what you have to do is nothing but we need to take a single physical machines can be divided into many things. That is, we need to take server consolidation into that one. So we are making server consolidations to be formed. So here we are taking the server consolidations in the opposite one. So we are dividing all these things into the physical, all these physical machines into the multiples one, and these multiple virtual machines will be able to access that one. So you are having only one host system. You are having only one host system, and you are able to do your work on multiple virtual systems here. Means one environment will be there and you are dividing the work environment to the others. So this what it is forming, it is forming the server consolidation representation here. When we are dealing with this type of the forms, we need to take denial of the service attacks uh, to be not to be done. Means we need to concentrate on the attack. What is the attack here is we are dividing a single system into multiple parts or the multiple partitions. So other partitions won't be able to access. That will be the problem here. So here the denial of the service acts will be occur. So to take into an account, what you have to do is nothing but we take security attacks on virtual machine and we are isolating these things, isolating all these things into the representations, and we are allowing these things to be done or processings to be specified here. Means every virtual machine, for example, you have been created 5 virtual machines. These 5 virtual machines have the isolations. The past classes also I am specifying we need to take the isolated environment, because whenever we are feeling or we are sorry whenever we are facing a crashing problem of a component, the other components will not be affected by that component crashing. What it has to do, they need to continue the execution without any failure. So that's why all the virtual machines what you are using has to be the isolated from their environment, which is having the that is own control also, and they are not being affected by the other virtual machines what it is chosen. Means if any attacker has been attacked to these one of the virtual machine, then won't be allowed, the attacker won't be allowed to access the multiple virtual machines which has been partitioned there. Why? Because means they has been isolated to that one, they have their own credentials also, their own working environment. If you want to access that one, you need to make these available through these hosts, and that is authorized person will only access that one here. And coming to this representation, we have the physical and cyber security protections which are at the cloud or the data centers here. So these are the 8 protection schemes which are to be given for these public clouds and then data centers. First one is the secure data centers and computing, then computer buildings. How it is going to take in here is the it is like specifying here is it is a physical representation. So we need to take the hazard free location and enforce building safety, avoid windows, keep buffer zone around the site, and then next bomb detections, camera surveillance, earthquake proofs, all these things we need to consider when you are, means these are the measures or the suggestions we need to follow when we are constructing a public cloud and also the data center which has been used for these clouds here. And the second one is use redundant utilities at multiple sites. So here why we use redundant utilities means if there is a failure of the power, means multiple power and supplies has to be there, network connections has been failed, means we need to maintain alternate one, alternate databases, and the data consistency, data watermarking, user authentication, all these things will to consider at these multiple sites when we are dealing. And coming to the third one, trust delegation and negotiation. Here we need to take certification into an account here. So here we need to take certificate authorities to take the policy conflicts has not to be done, and the trust has to be done through these PK domains. All these considered when we are dealing with the trust. And the fourth one is the worm containment and the DDoS defense. So distributed defense, that is denial of the service will be occur. So how we are going to means making these things not to be done. What are the suggestions we are giving here is we need to take all the data centers and then cloud platforms. We need to specify internet worm containment has to be given to them to assure that they are all secured from these worm containment and also these defense against husband. How far we are providing here is we are adding the softwares to that one. We are adding the surface to that environment. What it is doing is it is not allowing the persons to be means apply or the to perform these types of the attacks on our data centers or the clouds. And then the reputation, for these reputation systems for data centers, we need to take peer-to-peer ending here. So they have to take these complete hierarchy on these reputation systems from these data centers on then to the distributed file systems. So likewise, we are maintaining all these things. We are having the grained file access. How we are going the access to that one. Security, why we are how we are going to the giving the securities. We are adding the credentials to that one. Copyright protection and the piracy prevention. Copyright protection means we are not taking your content to be means used by others, and the piracy prevention means taking exact copy and the next we are being used by the others. It has not been developed here, and we are providing the privacy by taking the authentication as a double biometric or then intrusion detections, watermarking. You are also providing all these things will come into your account when dealing with this one. When virtualization is an important concept when we are dealing with any cloud or anything. So how we are going to provide these defense to these virtualization here is, so how these virtualization has been formed here is, it is uh, represented as a software component which has been added to the software, that is operating system, to handle the multiple virtual machines which has been added to, or which has been giving access to that environment. So here the virtual machines will do, or they will enable the higher availability or the high availability of the systems, and also they need to make the disaster recovery has been faster, and they sometimes they need to support the live migration also. So the live migration of the virtual machines has been has to be supported here, because any problem has been occurred means, for example, if you are receiving continuously denial of the service attack, so then what you have to do is nothing but we need to take your virtual machine to be migrated to the another host here. That is, you need to deploy all these resources of these things to the another host machine, and we need to take all these things to be done in a easy way. That's why what it is doing, it is allowing the persons to take virtualization into an account here. And we need to maintain the security policies conflicts also, because in our, we need to take care of the designing and the updating here. If any application has been violated or any application has been copied, or we need to take the complete updations came to an account when we are specifying. So here these are the privacy and copyright protections of the firm. So the first one is the web service, dynamic web service we need to provide for the accessing of the web applications through these cloud. And we need to take the trust has to be established between the users and providers. How they are going to provide is, they are providing these things through the SLAs and reputation systems. And why these SLAs are concerned means, in the agreement they are mentioning each and everything what they are been performing, and what the problem if the problem is being raised, or how they are going to take care of these things, what the services they are providing, how they are costing, what the benefits they are giving, has to be including in the SLA. And we are using reputation systems here is Google, Amazon, all these things which we used, we are simply trusting on them, because they has been repeated and they are for giving the data, sorry, the services in what we are having from the various past years, and they have the good name while dealing with these types of the things. And coming to the third one, identity management or the data access management has to be done. Means we need to provide authentication, and also data should be accessed by the authorized persons only. Single sign on and single sign off, because we need to take these cloud has not be used by the multiple people at the same time. If if I avail the service, I should be available with a single sign on only. More people will not use these my credentials at the same time, or something we not mention that is locations what we are not choosing for the processing will be, means some locations are not be allowed to process other to have the data representations. And the next, when you are dealing with these applications, we need to take the copyright, and the next auditing has to be done for that applications, if any person has been violated or not. So any application has been coming to existence, we have to see whether the application has been developed by their own, or there has been used our data, or there has been used our that is source code or not, we need to see. And we need to take mm, that controlling of the data, or these from these should be done from the providers only, not the client here. Because if the data if the data is with the clients, some good clients will use for the good purpose, the bad clients will have the data and they will use for the is bad purpose, and they will store our data, and then they will use our data for other purposes. And coming to the next one, protective protection and then sensitive regulation information, because we are taking shared environment into an account. So if we are providing the shared environment, what you have to do is nothing but we need to take sensitive data should not be shared here. If you are providing the such type of the environment to that one, it not be allowed. So here for that information, we need to see that whether the information is sensitive or not. If it is sensitive, how far it has to be allowed to be accessed by the others has to be considered. And coming to the next, this is an example representation of the cloud security safeguarded by gateway and firewalls. We are using multiple things. This is like security structures which has been coordinated with security gateways, and also we are using external firewalls to safeguard the access of these public of the private clouds we are using. If you consider the Amazon and the Force.com, these are the public clouds we are using. We are not simply connected to that one. We are using Wordle XML gateway here, and also we are having some representations to be done before processing all these things. So this is the security defense system which is used for the private cloud environment or the public cloud environment. So the gateway what you are using is fully secured to protect the access to these commercial clouds here, because they are not being used, or they are not being accessed by the commercial clouds, means they are not being used by these general public. Whoever paid for that one, they only have the access to that one. And we are maintaining a firewall also. The firewall provides an external shield here. So along with that one, the gateway what we are using secures the application server, message queue, database, web server client, and also these browsers what we are using with the protocols HTTP, JMS, SQL, XML, SSL. And examples, many examples are there where we are using different protocols to access. So here the defense mechanism, what did you know, what we need here is we need to protect the user data from server attacks. So here the user data what here has been must not be leaked to the other users without the permissions of the cloud here. So that's why what it is doing, it is allowing the security has to be maintained not only for the cloud, it has to be maintained for these things here, the HTTP, JMS, SQL, and then next XML, and then SSL. So what you are doing by using this HTTP, we are connected to the application server. So we need to protect the application server also. And these message queue has to be, there is a communication has to be specified here. So the communication and then storage and then web servers client, all these things will come into an account when we are dealing with this representation, has been connected to this cloud environment by using this gateway. This gateway is providing the representations, or is allowing these things to be done. Means if you are connected to that gateway, it allows the access from application server and the message from the database access. And from where we are connecting is we are connecting to the browser, and also allowing the services from the clients also, and it is processing these things and makes the things to be available from the clouds what we are choosing to access. So here in this example, we see how these gateways and these firewalls has been used, or they've been safeguarded, because we are not simply allowing the persons to be done. When you are simply accessing a Google also, we need to initiate, or we need to take whether this has been connected to a mm, means a trusted environment, or we should know. That's why we need to that is trust on the gateways what we are using. Along with the gateways what we are choosing, we are maintaining the firewalls also for processing the data here. And coming to the next one, distributed or the intrusion anomaly that is detection. Here in this representation here, we are taking the flooding attacks to their account. So here, when you are dealing with the cloud models, the data security is specified as the weakest link. Why? Because here is we are dealing with the data. We need to take data to be more protective here. So here, what are the problems we will face here is the network attacks and abuses, and sometimes we will take the lock-in problem, data lock-in problem also we need to consider. So for this type of the representation, we need to take ISS model, which is represented by the Amazon, to that is to come over from the external attacks what you are receiving. So here this type of to come over this type of the attacks, we need to consider role based interface tools here, because they need to be taking or they need to be concentrating on one type of the representations or the one type of the things only. So here if you consider any type of the services, if it is a SaaS or PaaS or the IaaS, what you have to do is nothing but we need to specify from where it has been occurred. Means what are the threats it is been forming, what are the intrusions we are getting, how these intrusions has been occurred, in which area there has been occurred, how they are means losing their data. All these things we need to consider. So by concentrating all these things, the security threats what we are considering has been aimed on virtual machines, guest operating systems, and the softwares what we are, that is applications what we are running on the cloud here. So these systems, what it has to do, the intrusion detect system has to stop these attacks before they affect these things. So first this thing, first what you have to do is nothing but we need to take these signature matching and these anomaly detections has to be implemented commonly or the both as a thing, and we need to apply these things on the virtual machines to build these intrusion detection systems here. So why these signature matching intrusion detection technology is requiring frequent updates of the signature databases. So and also it is taking the network anomaly detections which is on the traffic patterns what you are using, unauthorized episodes or there, TCP connection is there, normal traffic patterns has been against has been occurred or not. All these things need to come into an account when we are dealing with that one. If you come to see coming to this diagram, this is the flooding attack pattern. So here the flooding attack pattern here is which is commonly which is shown like a tree like structure. So if you see, this is the tree like structure now. So if coming to this diagrammatical representation, first we need to know what is the DDoS attack. So the DDoS attack here is we need to take distributedly we are getting denial of the service attacks through these flooding. Denial of service attack means for one system only you are getting that one. Distributed defense, that is denial of service attack means whatever the things it has been connected to that network has been facing the same problem here. So to overcome this thing, what we are doing, likewise, extra in previous slides we have seen DDoS has been designed with these multiple network that is network domains, which has been using on the cloud platform here. These network domains, what you are choosing, has been giving the accesses to these cloud resources we are using here. So here, what it is doing, how it is providing here is it is taking the flooding attack to be done. Means the flooding traffic will be maintained or the flooding traffic will be given. Means it is not specifying that only one system is being connected here. Only one system is connected in the real time, but the attackers what they are doing is they are making multiple systems has been connected to that one, and they are taking the server to a downtime. So flooding attack is like that one. Means it is taking uh, example here is there will be only one system running on that server. What the attackers will do is they will make the multiple systems or the working on that server. If the multiple systems are working at the same time on that server, the performance will be degraded. So the victim server what they are doing is will be crashed by buffer overflow, disk exhaustion, and then a correction saturation also. Many means okay, you can consider 100 systems or the 100 systems are connected to a single server at a time. They are trying to accessing the data, or all these things will done. Means what it is doing, it is being considered as a connection saturation here. So if you see this diagrammatical representation, the attacker has been hiding there, and there has been launched the attack from many zombies toward these victim server at the bottom of the router or not. So if you see or not, if you see these things what you are chosen here, so these things has been redirected to one thing only. So here we are having one server representation, and the server has been attacked by the people. How far it is been attacked here is it is using multiple nodes or the multiple routers to be used for accessing, and it is making the traffic to be done by from this part, and it is making to be available not available by this system what you are using. So whatever the things we are using means R3, R5, R6, R4, R7, R2, R8, and then R9, R1, R0. Means from R0 to R9, we are using 10 routers for processing, Whether these 10 routers are actually working on the network means they are not actually working on that one. What it is doing is it is using multiple systems here. Means attacker is using multiple systems to connect to a server. It is using how many systems? 4 systems it has been used here. If you see the arrow mark representations here, the arrow mark representations here is it is making the flow here, whether it is been use a correct user or not. What it is taking here is it is taking to be available. Thus if you see how it is going to be done here is we need to take these successive attack, transit attack, what here there is abnormal surge in the traffic has to be specified. So this is the traffic of that one. How many nodes has been used is it has been used some 10 nodes here. So at 10 nodes it is having some different levels. So it is first level, it is first, it is using R5, and the different systems are using different representations here, and it is connected to the different environment and is providing. So one system what it is providing, it is using R3, R2, R1, R0, and it is using another system is using R5, R4, R2, R1, R0, and another third system is using R6, R8, R1, and R0. And another system what you are choosing is using R7, R9, and R0. So whatever it is completely coming to the system which has been underneath of these or not, and they are being attacked by this one. So we need to maintain a defense system to that one. So here the how far we can specify a defense system is we need to take the change point detection by all the routers here. So we need to change the point of connection based on this one dynamically, because it is not specified that it is been decided that I have been using this network space only, or this way, this path only. Means if it is being changed, if you are coming to the R4, you are coming to the R4, what it is doing, it is making available to be run with the R2 only. And then next from the R2 where you are connected, you to reach the R0, there has been chance of using another node or another router also, but you are not using that one, you have been accessing like that. So from each and every router, what you have to do here is we need to specify change the change point detection here. So here this what it is doing is it by changing the representation, what it is providing here is it is taking eliminating other interventions or the other things to be done by here, and also making other peoples to be available with this thing. So here how it is making, again you see ma, how it is making the denial of the service distributingly here is it is attacking a system here. How it is attacking a system here, it is the server or the sorry the attacker has been taking multiple system to be working on a single point here. So they are being connected to that system by using multiple, how many routers it is using, how it is using 10 routers. Ultimately it is to connect that one, and this server which is the victim server has been how far we say has been degraded its performance. Why the how far it has been degraded its performance here is, so that complete to connect to the system we use the or not here. So the complete connections has been concentrated, has been connected to the or not, which has been the router kept on the busy here. The flooding has been done in this or not. And while coming to this R1 here, the things what you are using means for to connect to this or not from this system and this one, we need to go through the R1 also here. So that's why the flooding has been also increased here. And coming to this point, it has been connected from R3 and also R5 and R4 here. So there is a slight flooding here. So when compared with the or not, it's a slight one. There is no, if you see these points, there is no flooding because one system only connected to that router here. So what it is saying is, it is specifying, it is creating a flood here, but there is no any flood of the there is no any accessing. Many users are not there. The single user, the single attacker has been using, imposing. Many systems are working on that server here. By that, what it is coming, what it is having here is, okay, this much of the system has been using my my system's data, all these things. By these four systems, the remaining persons will see that the service which has been provided by this victim server will be represented as a DOS here. So because this won't be available for a particular amount of the time, because it is not accessing these things. So that's why what you have to do here is, we need to take the change point action. When you are reaching that one, it's not be a static one. So we need to take the dynamic one. So we need to change, or we need to specify anomaly detections has to be done, or these network domains also. And we need to detect any representations. What you have to do is nothing but, we need to take routers has not been attacked. We not to be traffic has not to be done. We need to maintain the traffic has to be specified. We need to take successive searches, or the frequently searching, or the frequently monitoring of these routers, how many are connected, or who are connecting, all these things will be constant. So if we are doing this type of the things, the attacks, what you are, if you are seeing R2 is flooded, monitoring, if you are monitoring repeatedly, R2 is flooded means what it is, it will be overcome by other things. So you are having another example here, that is the man in the middle attacks. Oh, how it is being formed here is the this is the virtual machine instance, and there is a representation again. Here is the he is a attacker here. So in this attack, what it is doing is, the attacker can view these contents of the virtual machine without being migrated here. How it is being possible, how it is being allowed here is, we are allowing to be migrated. The virtual machine has been migrated to the virtual machine A and then virtual machine B. The migration has been done here. So you know, man in the middle attack is been in these CNS. So here, what it is doing, we are taking these things to be seen by these attacker. How it is possible here is, they can provide, they can access the data. Why we are not using this one is, there is no any means protection, or there is no any security mechanism which has been maintained at the security, that is the network layer. So not only for the VM instances or the host instances what we are using, we need to provide the instances to be safe, or the instances to be safe at the things what we are using here. So that we are, what it is representing, man in the middle attack has been representing in this one. So this is has been done, this has been processing here. So here we can monitor, or we can take these attacker will take care of these things, means we can access the sensitive data, all these things what we are processing. So this is about today's class. Next class I will continue with. Thank you.